Okay, it's that time again. Flu season, all the different people hacking around you, but it's good news. We have Andrea Beaman with us today. So fasten your seatbelt because we're going to learn and grow together. I think we're about to start, right, Brian? There you go. Time to dance, Andrea. Shake all that stuff out, at least in me. Got my little shell. It seems like your best ain't good. By the way, it was fun being on your show.
Oh, they loved you, the girls.
Oh, thank you.
They liked your the best day ever.
That's how I orchestrate the ever.
You can count on me. I'll be right here.
I hear my grandchildren sing this theme
song. Oh, it's a good song. It's catchy.
Thank you. It's written for me.
This is the place you turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com.
You got your chat open?
Let's all learn together. Here's
yes.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show, I've been waiting for you. It is my honor to have you here and to make sure that you feel that you have a safe place to go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now today, if you have any questions, feel free to always call 407-373-5959 because it's that time of year, it's that time again where we get to be surrounded by and hear all about flus and all about all infections and sick people around you coughing and hacking and well, it's a good thing that we're going to be talking about this today with health coach and chef Andrea Beaman, who is back to share how we can build our immune system. You know what? What I see people that are sick and getting coughing and sneezing around me, I know that those germs are going to fall on someone else because I am doing everything I possibly can to remain healthy. But what else can we do? What else can we do? And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am so grateful that Andrea is here to do just that. Welcome, Andrea, to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
Thanks for having me, Lillian. You're always like the best cup of coffee ever.
You know, people wonder if I drink coffee. I don't drink any caffeine at all. Because it doesn't support my body very well because it hoards caffeine. Caffeine hoards in my body until 2 o'clock in the morning when it's, whoa, wake up. So I don't do that anymore. What about you? What wakes you up in the morning, Andrea?
Stretching. I stretch every morning. I'll either do Meridian stretches or some yoga, and it opens up all my pathways and gets everything flowing, which is part of building immunity.
Stretching. Well,
yes.
How appropriate that that's what we're going to be talking about today is building immunity. And we're going to start with something I didn't even know, stretching. How long do you stretch?
Well, I mean, just if you look at, do you have any animals, Lillian? Do you have dogs, cats?
I did until Max. Max ascended several years ago.
Well, there's one thing if you notice, if you look at your animals, when they wake up in the morning, they stretch.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what, their dog, cat, your parakeet, they stretch. They stretch out their arms. They stretch out their legs. So what this does is it opens up our pathways. It gets the body moving. And yes, stretching, right? And where are all your majority of your lymph? You have it in your digestive system, but you also have it here.
In your arms?
Lymph. We have it in our groin area, right? We have lymph everywhere. And especially in those spots that we want to stretch, right? Yeah. So when the lymphatic system gets congested, because the lymph, that's the interstitial fluid in between your cells. That's what's carrying your immune cells to wherever the disaster is. Mm-hmm. So if that is congested in any way, what's going to happen? You're going to have a backup. You're going to have a backup of waste. You're going to have a backup of your immune antibodies and everything that needs to get the killer cells wherever they need to go. They're going to be like, how can I get through this mess? There's too much congestion in here. And stretch. I stretch every morning.
That's a great start for this, because that's something I didn't even realize. Now, you talked about the lymphatic system, and we all know that those are like our garbage people. The lymph system is what takes the garbage out of our body. So by stretching, that allows the lymphatic system to work. How does that work?
Yeah, to move.
What creates movement?
Well, the lymphatic system, you know how you have your circulatory system, which is pumped by the heart, right? The heart is that pump. The lymphatic system does not have a pump. The way that it moves is with movement. So if we don't move, if you are eating the best food in the world and you're having the best thoughts in the world, right? But if you're sitting on your couch all day long and not moving your body, it's going to affect your health detrimentally. Right? So we have to stretch, we have to move, we have to open up our systems so that everything can get to where it goes. So the lymph is not only a garbage system, it's a carrier system. It's carrying your immune cells to where they need to go. They need to go over here to this fire. Do they need to go over there to that fire? So we have to make sure that this is functioning well. Do we need everything to go into the cells over there? And of course, your digestive system. Right? You know, there's a lot of lymph in the digestive system. And for those folks that are backed up and congested in their digestive system, meaning they have bad breath, you can smell it. Yes. Or they're not going to the bathroom, right? This is congested lymph. Right? You have to be able to move that stuff through, or you're going to smell like a garbage pail.
So if your breath is smelling like a garbage pail, chances are your lymphatic system is backed up. And we're going to continue our conversation with Andrea Beaman when we return worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Amazing. Right off the bat, we are going to start stretching. Show me some of your stretches.
Well, I do the Meridian stretches. They're like... it's ancient Chinese medicine, and it's from shiatsu, Japanese medicine. So it's literally like...
yes, show and tell.
So you take your hands, put them behind your back, stretch open your lung meridian, and you need this lung meridian.
Yes.
And then you pull your arms up over your head, and you put your head down.
Okay.
And you take 3 deep breaths while you're down there, and you do that for a rotation of 3 times. And that's
breathe. Let me do that one again.
Yeah, do 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. That's the first one you open with, because you need to open the lungs, right? So where does our energy come from? Oxygen, mixing of oxygen with nutrients and oxygen with blood. So if we're not opening up our lung meridian first thing in the morning, then we're going to have this type of, I can't breathe, anxiousness, right? So you want to make sure that you're breathing. And I know most people say, I'm breathing or I wouldn't be alive, but it's not true. Most people they're breathing all the way up here, right? They're not taking a full deep breath. Yeah.
Andrea, my life has been very hectic at times, but my voice started getting really hoarse and I couldn't sing anymore because I'd sing one song and then I was done. And I went to a voice specialist, a speech therapist, or a speech therapist, a respiratory therapist. And as she was interviewing me to figure out what was wrong with me, she told me that I had forgotten how to breathe, that I had not breathed once since I was sitting in the chair.
Wow.
And when she explained to me how to breathe, it made such a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I am a firm believer. I mean, I didn't even think of stretching. So thank you so much for starting us off. But okay.
That's only one stretch. You have to do 4 more. We'll do 1 in each break.
Okay. That sounds good. So remember, so we can do 2 next. You did 2 or is that 1?
That was 1.
Okay. So next time let's do 2 or 3. Okay. Let's get them all in. Okay. How about dancing? Is dancing work on a lymphatic system?
Yes.
Right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow with one another. Right off the bat, Andrea Beaman, certified health coach. She is just an absolutely wonderful human being that's always gracing the Lillian McDermott Radio Show to share her wisdom of all the years. Andrea, let's talk about your experience and your background real quick. How long have you been working through as a health coach, and what you're doing now in chef?
Oh, since 1999. So almost 20 years. Well, professionally, almost 20 years. I've been involved in this industry since 1996.
Yes.
Yeah, but professionally as a, coach and all that stuff. So I got into health and wellness the way that most people get into health and wellness, and it's through a sickness.
Yes.
Right? You're diagnosed with a sickness. The doctor says, here, these are your options. And you go, I don't really like those options, right? So for me, it was, I had a large goiter and hyperthyroid, and they were like, radiate your thyroid. And I was like, no, not for me. And I changed my diet and my lifestyle. And my doctors, because there was a succession of them, right? I started with one and I went to another one and another one. They all said your diet and your lifestyle have nothing to do with your disease.
I know. Isn't that ridiculous?
I know. I mean, that was, a long time ago. It was over 2 decades ago.
As your doctor is putting out his cigarette while he's eating a cheeseburger, right?
Yes. Do you know doctors used to recommend cigarettes?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's talk about cigarettes. Some of the things that we are doing, Andrea, that sabotage our immune system.
Yeah. Well, we're like, for example, we talked about breathing just before in the first segment, right? Mm-hmm. So if you are smoking, of course it's going to affect your immune system because you're constricting your airways, your ability to breathe and bring oxygen into your body. So with smokers, generally, they'll have a grayish cast. You'll see they don't have a vibrancy there because, oxygen is bringing blood, bringing fluid, bringing cells. And if the oxygen is constricted, right, from the smoking, then they're not going to be getting what they need into their cells. So smoking is a big problem for the immune system and also for the respiratory system.
Sure.
And, I'm not anti-tobacco. It was used in ritual for thousands of years by native people. But that's exactly it. It was used in ritual. It wasn't daily smoking a pack. It was, hey, we're going to sit around. We're going to pass the pipe. This is a ritual. And, it's a nightshade. Tobacco is a nightshade, so it does have this expansive quality where it can open the mind. So that's why it was used in ritual. And I think that we are abusing it really badly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so many things that we do abuse that we don't even think of it. It just becomes a part of our lifestyle. And I've said this before, and I'll say it one more time. No one ever runs into a burning building to breathe the fresh air. There are people actually that go into the building to rescue you. And so what I'd like to encourage people is to be the rescuer of our lungs. And so make sure that we become our own rescuer. So that's my little thing that I want to share there.
That's a great way to put it, to be the rescuer of your lungs.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not rely on the AMT to go in after us. But I just have had that image in my head. No one ever does that. So smoking. And I know that people who smoke, it's something that they love, but it's also something that's hurting them. And when we get to that place where we don't care what hurts us, then there needs to be maybe other things that we can do. Maybe that's a show that we can do in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Talk about smoking and meditation, because that's what it is. It's a form of meditation.
Okay.
The lighting of the cigarette, the taking in the breath, inspire, right? So when my clients are smoking, I actually encourage them to start meditating.
Very good. Very, very good. Pretend like they're doing the action of, okay, so let's talk about other things, because we know that we are doing things to sabotage ourselves. Let's talk about sleep. Let's talk about other things that might be causing us to reduce our immune system or sabotage our immune system.
Well, you hit on a big one, sleep.
Sleep.
Right? So if people aren't getting good quality sleep, then not only is their immune system going to be down, but every single system in their body is going to be exhausted, wiped out, won't be able to handle anything that happens. Stress will be higher. So this is a big problem in the modern world because more and more people are struggling with the ability to sleep. And I think that part of it is see what I'm looking at right now? This computer with this white light that's coming out, and this computer here, right? So we're surrounded by this electromagnetic energy, as well as these low-level non-ionizing radiation constantly, and this white light and white light and blue light. So your pineal gland, when you wake up in the morning and you step outside and you're getting sunlight, it's a yellow glow, and then midday is white light, right? White and blue all day long, midday. And then as sunset starts, we go into those yellows, goldens, oranges, reds, and into the blue. So dark blue, not light, white blue. So when you are on your computer at night, or you're on your cell phone at night, and you're letting this white and blue light come into your pineal gland, it's telling your body, hey, it's daytime. Let's go get some sugar into the cells. We got stuff to do. We have to get moving, right? You're still in wake up mode. It's the middle of the day. We got stuff to do. So it's one of the reasons why people can't fall asleep, because they're always on their computers.
Yeah.
So this is a big problem.
Well, not only that, Andrea, but I have forced myself to remove any phones or anything out of my bedroom, because they continue to produce these EMFs whether we're sleeping or not, right?
That's correct. That's the router in your house. My husband pulls out the router every night.
That's a great idea. Pull out the router. Okay, so this is something. Okay, pull out router. I'm writing myself a note. Okay, I'm done. Okay, pulling out router before you go to bed. But then many people say, well, what if I miss an important call? Maybe something is going to happen to someone I love. What do you say about that? Because I could hear it. I could hear it.
Yeah, they still have access to the phone. You're pulling out the router. You're not disconnecting the phone line, right? You're pulling out the router. So it's that's all your computer equipment around the house. So and also I want those people that are saying, what if something happens in the middle of the night? I want those people to think about, in their entire life, how many times has that call come at 3:00 in the morning to say, listen, so-and-so has passed on, or we just got into an accident. How rare is that?
Yeah.
Right? And you'll find out in the morning when you wake up, if somebody has died, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
They passed on in the night, right? Now, there are these emergencies that happen, like if the house is on fire, but that's not going to come through your router. Right? Somebody's going to be banging on your door.
Yes.
The house is on fire.
And it's not going to be me. We've already talked about that, right, Andrea? Okay.
That's right.
So that is one of the things that I hear all the time. So I wanted to bring that objection, and so what happens is when your phone is on, you're hearing the chimes of texts, emails, Facebook, and people are up at all hours of the night, not knowing that they might be sending something to you when it could be waking you up. I don't have any phones near me.
Good.
So even a wireless or cordless phone is emitting signals too. Do you want to say anything about that?
Well, you're still getting EMFs, right? So we don't have a phone in our bedroom. We used to.
Yeah.
But, just take it out, put it in the living room. Give yourself some distance from that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, one of the keys to getting rid of all the toxicity that we are exposed to is to get out in nature.
Yes.
Right? You get out in nature and it really starts to rebalance your system.
Yes. So we pull out the cord for our router. We go out there, experience nature. Now, is it that we are boosted because we're feeling the earth's energy, or we're just absorbing what's around us? What does nature have to do with it?
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's a great question, because we have so removed ourselves from the natural environment that we wonder, why do I need to go back to the natural environment? So I think there was a study done. I don't want to say San Francisco, but there was a study done that cities that had less trees had higher incidence of asthma, respiratory illnesses, right across the board. So if you think about the trees, they are our lungs outside our body, right? So we breathe out carbon. They take in the carbon. They transmute it into oxygen and push it back out into the air, right? So this is what's happening with trees and with plants. We are in a symbiotic relationship with them. We're not separate from them. We couldn't live on the planet without them, right? So keep that in mind as we're just plowing and taking down every forest across the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever, for our monetary or materialistic needs. We're just chopping down forest after forest, clearing entire lungs off the planet. You know, so we have to connect back. When my clients are depressed, I tell them, listen, go to the park, any park in the city where you are, and hug a tree. And they're like, what?
You tree hugger.
I am. I'm like, trust me, just hug a tree. So there's a vibration that runs throughout the planet, right? Schumann resonance is what they named it back in the 70s or the 60s. It's an actual frequency in the planet that is very healing. It's healing to our immune system. And guess what? The roots of the trees are going down into the earth, and they are vibrating with that frequency, as well as all the plants and everything on the planet, except for us, because what have we done? We've covered our cities in asphalt and concrete, right? We've dulled that frequency that comes from the earth, that healing frequency. And I forget the name of the doctor who did the test where they took college students and they put them inside like a bunker for 6 weeks underground, completely shut out from the Schumann resonance, the frequency of the planet. Migraine headaches, depression, anxiety, everything came up to the surface.
Wow.
So we are literally connected to the planet. We've just disconnected ourselves.
So these are ways to build our immune system.
Yes.
What about herbs and vitamins? What can we do there?
Yes. So I brought some for show and tell.
Okay. Okay.
So there's an herb or a root, actually, astragalus root from the Fabaceae family. And this has been used for thousands of years. Thousands of years in Chinese medicine.
And what's it called?
It's called astragalus. I'm sure you've heard of astragalus. It builds immunity. It builds red blood cells, white blood cells. It builds the immunity back up. So what they used to do with those little sticks that I was holding up is they would put them into soup. They would put them into stocks. They would put them in, and then you would drink this liquid and it would build your immune system. It would support your digestive system, where majority of your immune system lives.
And where do you get the is it astragalus?
Astragalus root.
Where do we get the astragalus root?
You could get it at Mountain Rose Herbs. You could get it at Star West Botanicals, any herb shop, you know, like look in your area, because herb shops are popping up. They're making a resurgence, which is wonderful.
Yes, yes. Anything else that you can think of that we can drink?
Oh, yeah. Ginseng, ashwagandha, licorice root, because it's an antiviral. So you can make licorice root tea, especially because, you know, we talked about, and I know we're running out of time now for this segment, right? But, you know, you talked about stuff to drink and what to eat. You can make a licorice root tea, and we're coming into flu and cold season, and just sip on it every day. It's a natural antiviral.
Yes. What about oregano, speaking of antiviral?
Put it in your food.
Okay.
Yes, put it in your food. Eat it.
Eat the oregano. What else?
Yes.
What else can we put in there?
Because the oregano comes with fiber, right? I know a lot of people are doing essential oils, which are very hard on the liver, by the way, and the nervous system.
Ooh.
But if you eat the actual essential oil with the fiber that it came with, it's going to feed the bacteria. Guess where? In your microbiome.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the gut next when we return with beautiful Andrea Beaman worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, that was like, whoa, as we were talking about, okay, I better speed this up because we got Dell joining us later. Okay, so let's talk about stretch number 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so we did lung, and then you would do just putting your feet straight out in front of you and stretching your arms up over your head. Okay. And then touching your toes and staying there.
Now, are you on a chair or are you on the floor?
No, you're on the floor when you're doing this stretch.
Okay. Okay. Feet up in the air, touch your toes.
Well, not feet up in the air, but you're putting your feet straight out.
Okay. My feet up in the air now because I'm on a chair.
I know.
Okay. But laying down it wouldn't be because I don't bend that way. I'm Gumby. Okay. So down.
And then you just stretch down and touch your toes, and you hold that pose for 3 breaths, and you could do it 3 times. And this opens up the kidney and the bladder meridian.
Okay.
Right? So you remember how I told you before that the water element, right? We need to have our water flowing and lymphatic system flowing.
Yes.
So this stretch opens up the kidney element in Chinese medicine.
Okay. Okay. Stretch number 3.
Oh, stretch number 3. You're going to put your feet together.
Okay.
Like a little butterfly.
Okay. Okay.
And you're on the floor.
Oh, you're on the floor.
Your feet are together like a little butterfly, and you open your legs and you're stretching, right? Your knees are open and you're stretching your groin. You're stretching open.
Okay. And you do that 3 times while you're breathing?
Yeah, just breathe. And you pull your head down.
Okay.
Right? So your legs are open like a butterfly, and you pull your head down as if you're going into a forward bend.
Okay.
Toward your legs.
Okay. And stretch number 4?
We have time for stretch number 4?
Yes, we have. Before I say hi to Dale, yes, we do. How much time do we have, Brian? Well, 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. So
okay.
Last stretch.
Okay, so the next stretch is a gallbladder stretch. You open your legs wide.
So straddle.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to take your arm and just go over and try and touch your toe. I mean,
so that really exposes the lymphatic system too?
Totally.
Okay, there we go.
Totally.
So, Dale, you're probably wondering what we're doing and what we're talking about, but we're talking about how to build the immune system. And Andrea, right off the bat, shared that stretching first thing in the morning builds your immune system.
Fascinating.
It gets your system flowing. It gets everything moving.
Guess who does this naturally and instinctively?
Not I.
Not I, said the animals.
Oh, how interesting.
I remember Max, when Max was alive, the first thing I'd say, Max, and he'd like do this little stretch, you know? Do you have animals, Dale?
We did. Unfortunately, lost a couple of our dear animal friends. But now that you say that, yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
They stretch every morning. They wake up their little bodies. They're like, I'm in the world. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's funny. Start the recording again. Here we go. Andrea, so those were great tips. I am going to be, it's like I do meditation in the morning, and then I go off to the gym. And that's where I do my stretching. But you're saying to stretch right after I get out of bed.
Yeah, stretch it. You don't see your dog getting up and getting out. Right? The cat
or leave her a voice.
Got it.
407-373-5955.
So we're going to talk about gut now.
Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow together. Today's teacher is Andrea Beaman. We're talking about how to build the immune system. As you know, we do a lot of things to sabotage our immune system, but what can we do to build our immune system? So Andrea Beaman is helping us with that. And, we're talking about stretching, we talk about herbs, we're talking about stress and breathing, so many different ways that we can build our immune system. This is what we talk about on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, how to take your life back, how to take your health back, and how to do it in ways that are supporting your life. Supporting what you want, supporting life as opposed to supporting you getting closer to death. And so with that in mind, I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please become a subscriber. While you're there, check out my sponsors, because without them, this show would not happen. So check them out. Make sure you support them like they are supporting the show, just like Liberty Health Share, which we're going to be talking to Del Billis in a little bit. But for now, I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Check out all my little social media buttons. Make sure you follow me on social media. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because while you have been driving and listening to my wonderful sponsors, off the air, Andrea's been teaching us how to different stretches, 4 stretches in the morning. If you want to watch this video, go to whenyouneedafriend.com, click on the YouTube channel, or you can go to YouTube/Lillian McDermott Radio Show. Yay! Now you can go straight to it as well. You can listen to me on podcast, on demand. You can stream us on TuneIn. And as always, you can call me at 407-373-5959 if you have any questions or comments or a suggestion for a new show. But for now, Andrea, before we went on the break, we left everybody on a cliffhanger about gut health. What does gut have to do with it? Is that what love has to do with it?
You sound like Tina Turner.
That's right. That's right. Fortunately, I don't have an Ike in my life, but.
Well, like over 70% of our immune system lives in our gut.
Yes.
Right. So what are we doing to the gut in our modern society? What is happening with our gut health? You have people with leaky gut. You have all this colitis, Crohn's, every digestive ailment you can imagine. Why? What is going on in the human digestive system that we cannot process food, or that the gut is so inflamed? So if that's happening, what is happening with our immune system?
Yes.
Is it in a chronic state of inflammation, the immune system? So because of what we're putting into our gut. So it could be, I'm a big fan of not eating all of the crappy food that we have at our disposal, right? I mean, take a look around. There are food substances that we are eating that are nothing like what the food originally was, right? So you look at a fruit roll-up, right, which we're giving our kids, right? Fruit roll-up. There's not even any fruit in a fruit roll-up. So what are we giving our kids? We're just giving them high fructose corn syrup. We're giving them crap. Give them an apple. Wow. Oh my God.
That is too logical, my dear. But, can we take strawberries or blueberries and dehydrate them?
You can, but then you're taking away the water element. So
let's talk about water.
Yeah, water is very important to the immune system, right? Because the immune system and the lymphatic system are intimately connected. They can't really function without each other. I mean, they could, but it'll be really tough. Yeah. So you have to make sure that your water element is flowing. So when someone's dehydrated, did we talk about dehydration?
Maybe off the air we did.
Yeah. So when someone is dehydrated.
That's what I said. Stop, Andrea. Stop, Andrea. Say that on the shore. Okay, go ahead.
When someone is dehydrated, their immune system doesn't function as well as every single system in their body. Respiratory system, the ability to blink, right? When somebody gets dry, their eyes get dry, fluid mouth getting dry. What do we need to process our food? We need digestive saliva. So if the fluids are drying, we can't really process our food. If the fluids are drying, our immune cells aren't going to get where they need to go. Mm-hmm. If the fluids are drying, we're not going to be able to go to the bathroom. You'll have a backup of waste because you actually need water to be reabsorbed into the system so you can have a movement. Yes. Right? So we need to have water. So like most people, they don't even drink water. They're drinking soda, coffee, tea. No water is going into the system. I had a client who didn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks.
What?
Yes.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. And I'm mortified. I'm like, oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. And she's like, yeah, I just don't go to the bathroom. I'm like, how much water do you drink? And she's like, water? I'm like, water.
Thing you brush your teeth with?
No water. No, I can't even imagine.
What did they drink?
Soda.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and diet soda at that. It wasn't even like real soda. So, yeah. So, like we have to nourish our systems, but most people don't know how. They don't know, drink water. Make water your first meal of the day because the water is going to hydrate your system, make your fluids and everything flow better. Right. So that, again, this is taking us back to Chinese medicine. The water element is very important for your immune system. It's also important for the functioning of every single system in your body.
Yes.
We can't live without it. Look at our earth. What is it covered in? Yes. Mostly. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and when we first started this conversation, I said that we were disconnected from the earth.
Yes.
So we need to reconnect back to the water element, which is part of us, and it'll help us function better.
Absolutely. So when you say drink water in the morning, I've been doing this 2 times a day, and it's helped me a lot because I don't produce a lot of acid in my stomach. Mm. So I do a 1/3 cup of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, because you're low acid.
Yes. Is that good for me?
Well, in the short term, but in the long term, all of that apple cider vinegar is not going to be good.
Okay.
Long term.
Okay, so let's take that, and I want to learn about that, and because I was diagnosed with too much acid and took Nexium and Prilosec when I was younger, and it turned out I didn't have enough acid. Plus, they're blocking more acid.
That's
correct. That's a totally different program that I would like to address. But Andrea, this is great, and this is a great conversation. We haven't even tapped into all the wonderful things. But I do want to bring Dale Billis into the conversation. And the reason why is because Liberty Health Share is this is what embraces my health. This is where I've made informed choices. And I use Liberty Health Share. I call it my healthcare assurance, or instead of insurance, it's assurance that I am going to choose the right health benefits for myself. And so Dale Billis is the founder and chairman of Liberty Health Share. And so I know that Liberty Health Share has something called Health Track. It's a health track program. And so Dale, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much for being on the show today on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
Lillian, I am enjoying this conversation immensely, learning so much from it. Thank you, Andrea, for your instruction in relation to the support and enhancement of our health. We are a health-conscious community.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that we're all healthy.
That's right.
In fact, this kind of information is what expands our thinking and adds to our repertoire of education regarding how to support and enhance and enlarge our health and well-being. And that's really, you've already referenced our health track program. I want to chat more about that,
yes.
Lillian. But it's really taking charge of our health.
That's right.
Take care of our health. Here's the flaw in our present healthcare world.
Yes.
We go to a doctor, they get reimbursed or paid the more often they see us because we're sick.
Yeah.
That's the mechanism of the economy of healthcare in America today. That's a flaw. We don't have a healthcare system, Lillian. We have a sick care system.
Absolutely.
We have to take charge of our health, change that, and focus our attention on enhancing and increasing our health. And obviously, our immune system is fundamental to that entire enterprise.
Absolutely, Dale. And for those of you who have maybe just tuned in for the first time and not heard of Liberty Health Share, Liberty Health Share has changed my life and how I choose my doctors. And instead of insurance, I walked away from insurance 2.5 years ago, and I embraced Health Share. And Liberty Health Share can be found at libertyhealthshare.org. And it's you can call 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237, and you can start your journey too. It was a great decision, the best decision I've ever done, because now I can go to the doctors that I want to go to, Dale. And and what I love about Liberty Health Share is you embrace health.
Right.
And how
naturopathic as well as allopathic if necessary, but that's really a giving freedom into the hands of the individual patient, the customer at the end of the day.
Yes.
It's you and I as healthcare consumers that have to take charge of our health.
That's right. We get to do all these wonderful things. For those of you who want to learn about Liberty Health Share, it's an affordable way, which is Affordable Care Act exempt, by the way, to think about your health. Instead of sick care, look at Health Share. And we're going to continue our conversation with Andrea Beaman, Dale Billis, when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Oh my goodness. This is, it's interesting, Dale, as we learn more about the choices that we make and how they impact our health. That woman that didn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, they would have all sorts of signs that there's something wrong prior to that, right, Andrea?
Well, headaches, but people think, I've got a headache. I'll just take
Tylenol.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now, Tylenol is linked to, it's, I think, the #1 cause of liver failure in the United States.
That's right.
Right?
And kidney as well.
Yeah. So, it's people think, I got this pain. Well, let me just take this thing. But then they're not thinking, well, why is the pain there? Right? So we need to get to the root cause, literally. And I love that that you can choose what doctors you want to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've had clients tell me that, they bring their information to their doctor and the doctor says, I'm not, you're fired as a client.
Yeah.
You're not going to take this medication that I want to give you. And then they're not covered for naturopathy or any of the other alternatives that they want to go to.
So write down Liberty Health Share and tell you tell your people about Liberty Health Share. Send them to libertyhealthshare.org or give them the phone number. But it's so affordable, Andrea. We were paying so much money for our insurance until I did a show about Liberty Health Share, and it changed my life.
Oh, that's good.
Seriously. So Dale, speaking of changing lives and life-changing, this is life-changing for many people. It's the concept of switching from insurance to a health share program. Can you help people as they're listening to Andrea and you get more comfortable with what health share is all about?
It really is a mindset change. It's a paradigm shift for the way in which we meet healthcare costs. But I frequently encourage people to think about, how did healthcare expenses get paid for before the advent of modern insurance? Insurance is about 70 years old, just right after World War II. Prior to that, it was a community action. If somebody had a medical expense, the local church would step in, the neighbors would come, the local community would support. Help pay that bill, give aid and assistance to the family, and pay those bills. It was a community-focused event. That's the way healthcare was paid for a few centuries before the advent of modern insurance. Yeah. And even with the growth in the 50s and 60s of insurance, it has grown more complex, more intermediaries inserted, and more oversight and intervention administratively, as opposed to increasing the responsibility of the individual patient. It's taken it away and shifted the oversight of healthcare to the insurance company. And that's occurred over the last 70 years, even more. So it's really putting our thought pattern around the fact, boy, how did healthcare originally get made?
Oh, it's loud. Hold on a second.
You can text Lillian McDermott.
Here we go. This is our last dance, guys.
372-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow together. Today's teachers are Andrea Beaman and Del Billis. I'm so grateful. Andrea, you can find her at andreabeaman.com, and you can find Del Billis on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show twice a month. I am so thrilled every time he comes on, because we learn something new about taking our health back. And Liberty Health Share allows us the freedom of choice. Where do we want to go? Is it allopathic? Is it functional, integrative? You can choose that. And it's not just people just giving you a handout. This is an organized group that has helped so many people and it's Affordable Care Act exempt, $1 million per incident. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Del Billis, thank you so much for being a part of what helps the Lillian McDermott Radio Show grow.
Well, thank you, Lillian, for the invitation to be with you. It's a great privilege to do so, and we just join in with you with your passion and advocacy for caring for our health. Because bottom line, that's really what it has to be about. It's not just about paying bills. It's about living our lives fully and being able to have the energy and the focus and the capacity to live the life that God's intended for us to live. So that's what health is all about.
Absolutely. And what I love about Liberty Health Share, which, by the way, you can go to libertyhealthshare.org to learn more. You have a program that's called Health Track. So share a little bit about Health Track, and why do we embrace Health Track, or why does Liberty Health Share embrace this Health Track?
Well, thank you for that, because really, Lillian, when we're talking about health care in America, there is an epidemic of chronic conditions across America that we encourage people to come join us on the basis of our health sharing methodology. We accept it, and it's really one of the most strategic ways we deal with pre-existing conditions. Because when folks come and join us with conditions like high blood pressure or heart disease, certainly type 2 diabetes, obesity, smoking, cholesterol, all of those conditions are lifestyle based.
Yes.
That is the way I eat or sleep or reduce stress or exercise. All of that impacts, frankly, changes and in many cases reverses conditions. So we welcome folks to come and join us with those conditions on the basis of Health Track. That is, we assign them a health coach. It takes an additional $80 a month. It's a pass-through essentially for the health coaching. But with that health coach, they set their own predetermined and customized treatment plan and goals with the support and guidance of the health coach and positive reinforcement and accountability. That's the key. They reach those goals, and once they achieve them, the $80 drops off. We send up literally digital balloons in our monthly newsletter of their accomplishment and what they've achieved. Congratulate them. They continue on as members, but it's been life transforming, life changing for thousands of our members who've joined, and Health Track simply gives support, guidance, and a coach along the way for both naturopathic solutions, ways to change diet, to eat properly, to find the kinds of nutrition that truly feeds the body, etc. All of those things that you are so passionate about, and gratefully so is Andrea, it helps our members as they onboard with us. Now, interestingly, the average tenure for a Health Track member is 7 months.
Oh.
Folks want to accomplish these goals. We're not asking them to do something they don't want to do. They've just simply not had the pathway, the methodology, the support to accomplish it. And it's gratifying. We get tons and tons of testimonies from Health Track as to the kind of impact and change in people's lives.
That's wonderful, Dale. And for those of you who want to learn more about Liberty Health Share, you can go to libertyhealthshare.org. You can also call 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237. I am a member of Liberty Health Share, and I'm a proud member too. And so as we embrace this taking our health back and changing our shift, Dale, say that it takes about 7 months on average because people are now engaged. They want to do this. Yes. But in a situation where they're unwilling to change and unwilling to grow, what happens at that moment?
Well, we've had only a handful of those instances, gratefully.
Yes.
It's just simply having a conversation and just simply suggesting this may not be for you.
That's right.
Health sharing may not be the methodology. Health Track may not be for you. If you resent it or resist it or don't want to cooperate, we will just part company. And so many, we've had a handful, as I mentioned, who've just simply said, you know what, this isn't for them, and they withdraw.
Yes.
And we understand that. Health sharing and its concept, where as a community, we're committed to meeting the healthcare costs of one another. So our money every month, Lillian, is going to another person. It's not dropping into a company black hole, and that company then is distributing it based on their agenda and initiatives. It's really helping one another based upon our mutual engagement, and my money's going literally to another person and their medical expenses every month. I encourage them. I send them cheer, prayer, etc. We message one another, and it's that community dynamic that's really unique and may not fit every life.
That's right.
And occasionally we encounter that.
Yeah.
Dale, the longest lived peoples on the planet, what they all have in common is they live in community.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're built for community, aren't we, Andrea?
Yeah.
We're built for relationship, and that kind of health coaching support simply gives that launch into that community. I've got to tell you quickly this quick story, Lily and Andrea, and that is we had 1,605 people join our program last year in 2017 who had an indication for the need to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Now, we all know that weight is a major indicator of our health, our wellness, our future health state. We know that. Mm-hmm. And we have rather relaxed height and weight standards, but even under those guidelines, it was an indication they needed to lose weight. Mm-hmm. 1,605. We assigned them a health coach. They set their goals. They were given guidance and support and positive accountability and reinforcement. And together, get this, that group lost over 32,000 pounds together.
Wow. That is amazing.
Tons that they lost together as a group. And we're flooded with testimonies of the life transforming, altering kinds of experience that is. And it's just amazing to see.
How empowering that information is. Thank you for sharing that, Dale. You know, we were talking at the beginning of the show that we've lost our connection to nature and how nature does help build our immune system. With our insurance, the medical system and the healthcare system, we have lost our connection to our own health. Could you like to add to anything? Would you like to add anything to that?
You're exactly right. Because of this sick care system that I referenced earlier, we're not finding those advocates or coaches or the support system that really focuses on health. Instead, the entire system is focused upon illness and sickness. And we just have to take that back.
Absolutely.
And take action and be decisive and find a relationship with a doctor or a naturopath or a healthcare community representative that really supports those objectives and goals. We have to bring that change to the table, Lillian, because it's not going to be provided for us.
No, it won't be.
To initiate and be in charge of our health.
Absolutely. And to learn more about Liberty HealthSure, go to libertyhealthsure.org. That's 855-58-LIBERTY. Thank you, Dale Billis, for your wonderful, I love it when you're on the show. Andrea Beaman, it's been great. Let's learn a little bit more and do some more after the interview. And please remember, this is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best
day ever.
Yay! Good job. Now, Dale, I know you always have a show, interview.
I apologize.
But I thank you so much for being on. You're always so wonderful.
Well, thank you, Lillian. God bless.
Take
Andrea,
care.
Pleasure to meet.
You too.
So, Andrea, anything else that you'd like to say before we close about, time just goes by. We have so much to talk about. We could do like a 3-hour show and still run out of things to talk about.
It's true. I mean, everything that we touched upon today, get your sleep, drink water, stretch your body, get sunshine, exercise, be in community, eat great food. All of this is going to support your immune system. All of it. It's never one thing. Like people will say, as soon as flu and cold season, they go, I need echinacea, right? They go for the one thing. Or I have to boost up my vitamin C. But it's never the one thing. It's a combination of things. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind as you come through flu and cold season. You want to be able to get out the other side without getting pneumonia.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That sounds like a really good plan. And I am going to go look into astragalus. Is that what I say?
Astragalus, yes.
Let's see that again. And you just put it in water and you boil it and drink it as tea?
Yeah, I mean, you could have it as tea. It's better decocted for a longer period of time. So like you bring it to a boil and then simmer for about 45 minutes. That's why it's great in a soup. If you have a veggie soup or a chicken soup or something, you just put those little sticks in there.
You can just stick the stick. Oh, and was that ginseng you said?
Yes, the same thing with ginseng, another really powerful root.
Very good.
Strength and vitality.
How much do you need? Does a little dabble do you, or do you need like 2 or 3 sticks?
Well, if I was making a big pot of chicken soup or some big vegetable stock, I would probably put about 4 to 5 slices of root in there and just let it simmer away for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then you get all of those constituents that are in there that help to build your white blood cells, your red blood cells. It's amazing.
Very good. Very good. So herbs, you mentioned the herbs on the show, and also drinking. You said all the wonderful things. You know, one of the things that I learned from Dr. Lorraine Day is that there are 3 causes for illness. It's dehydration, malnutrition, and stress.
Yep.
And what you talked about today is building all of that, and in a way that is loving and supportive to the body. So thank you so much, Andrea, for always providing so much powerful, empowering information to all of us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lillian, for everything that you do.
Yeah, and to our next conversation, I look forward to seeing you again.